Welcome everyone to the Settle in Life session. My name is Chiamaka Gali and I'm the Virtual Events Manager with Settle In. Today we will cover preparing for a job interview. When commenting during this live session, please remember not to share any personal or confidential information as we are public facing. Overview. During this event, we will provide an overview of finding a job, preparing for a job interview, common interview questions, what to expect during your interview, and what to do after your interview. Working in the US. Finding, getting, and keeping a job are critical to your growth and self-sufficiency in the United States. Although you will receive help looking for a job, you play the biggest role in obtaining employment in the US. Finding employment in the US is important, and your first job may not be in the same profession or field as your job in your home country. It may be an entry-level, non-professional job, and may even be temporary or part-time. It is important to start working so you can support yourself or your family and build your work history. It may become easier to find a better job once you build your work history. If you are new to the United States, you might face a range of challenges when looking for a job, including searching for a job in a new and unfamiliar language. Finding a job can take many weeks or months. You may have to apply for many jobs and experience rejection when you do not get one. Your previous work experiences might not match the types of jobs that are available in the US. Your training and certifications are not accepted. Worry about what type of job you can get, how you will get to work, and who will take care of your children while you are working. It is common for people to experience a wide range of emotions when looking for work, like sadness, fear, worry, and frustration. For tips on managing stress while looking for a job in the United States, see our Help Center article linked in the comments. Finding a job. There are many different types of jobs in the United States. When you arrive in the US, you may find a job working in a factory or warehouse, at a hotel or restaurant, or in retail and customer service. To obtain a better, higher paying job, you will need to speak, read, and write English, and you may need to learn new skills. If you worked in a specific profession in your country, you may need to attend classes and obtain a certification before you're able to work in that field in the United States. There are several resources that can help you look for and find a job. Your resettlement agency will usually have an employment specialist who can help you with job searching, resume building, and professional development. Employment is not guaranteed by the government or your resettlement agency. It may take weeks or months to find a job, and you may have several job interviews. You can work with your employment specialist to find a job and learn common interview tips. Job listing websites can help you find jobs. You can search for jobs in your area and by type of job. Most sites allow you to submit your application for free. Remember that an employer will never require payment for your application or job training. If you are asked to submit a fee or payment to submit your application, or if an employer asks you to pay for training or certificates, it might be a scam. Upwardly Global is an organization that supports newcomers to restart their careers in the United States. Upwardly provides career coaching, networking opportunities, and more. Applying to several jobs at the same time can increase your chances of being hired. You will likely have to submit an application and a resume when applying to jobs. Some hiring managers will take a long time to get back to you, so don't be discouraged. Keep applying to jobs and you will receive a job offer. In addition to the resources we just mentioned, networking can also support you in finding a job. Networking is building and maintaining professional relationships with people who can help you with your job search. They can provide you with referrals, access to the job market, building relationships with hiring managers, career advice and guidance, and personal branding. For more information on how to find a job, please watch our previous live event on employment in the United States on our Settle In Facebook page and Settle In YouTube page. Resume. The job search process can take a long time. Having a strong resume increases your chances of being invited to an interview. A resume is a 1 or 2 page document that shows employers your qualifications and experiences. It is important to make sure your resume aligns with the job you're applying to. A strong resume is the key that will open the door to good jobs. Employers often receive hundreds of resumes for a single position. They do not have time to closely read every word on each resume. This means that it's important that what you write aligns with the job you're applying for. You may have to change your resume for different job listings. For more information on how to make a good resume, including an example resume, check out our Help Center article, Tips for Creating a Resume to Help Get a Good Job. Preparing for a job interview. If a company is interested in hiring you, they will contact you to set up an interview. An interview is a conversation between you and a potential employer and is an important next step in getting a job. It can also be the next step that makes you the most nervous. However, you can prepare so that you can feel confident during the interview. Research the job and company. Find the job listing that you applied to and take notes on specific qualifications or responsibilities in the job description. Also, research the company to understand what they do. Ask questions. Prepare some questions to ask the employer after your interview. You can ask about anything confusing on the company's website or job listing, or questions about work culture. Asking questions helps you look interested and enthusiastic about the company and position. Plan your transportation. If your interview is in person, learn how to navigate to the location of your interview. You can use Google Maps to help you understand how long it will take to navigate to your job interview and what public transportation is available. If the interview is virtual, make sure that you have a strong internet connection. Make sure to check that your devices are charged before your interview. If you don't have internet at home, consider going to a public library or community center. Dress neatly and cleanly. Your employment specialist can help you learn about what kind of clothing to wear to an interview. Researching the company also helps you determine how professional or casual they dress. Avoid wearing ripped or stained clothing, strong cologne or perfume, or wrinkled clothes. Be prepared. Bring a copy of your resume, any required identification, and silence your cell phone during your interview to avoid distractions. Common interview questions. Another way to prepare for your interview is by practicing interview questions. Most employers ask similar questions, so you can prepare your answers before your interview. Here are some common interview questions. Tell me about yourself and your background. Hiring managers want to hear about your employment history, including where you started and how you got to where you are now. In your response, make sure that you connect your previous employment history to the job you're interviewing for. What interests you about this position? If you research the company and job before your interview, you can use your research to help you answer this question. Make sure to mention your interest in the company and the job. Do you prefer to work independently or on a team? You can answer this question by highlighting what skills you have that allow you to work by yourself and work with others. How do you deal with stressful situations? The hiring manager wants to know that you can handle conflict or challenges at work. You can answer this question with a story of when you stayed calm under pressure. Try to share a story that can relate to the job you're applying for. What are your greatest strengths? You can answer this question by focusing on one or two skills that you have. For example, you can share that you're always on time or that you support your colleagues. When answering this question, try to share examples that connect to the job you're applying for. What do you consider your weakness? You can answer this question by focusing on one weakness and navigate this weakness. For example, if you share that you struggle with arriving on time, you could share that you're overcoming this weakness by setting alarms and planning your travel ahead of time. You can also search interview questions for that specific job and practice your responses. You can reach out to your employment specialist to see if they offer practice interviews. You can also ask family or friends to help you practice for your interview. The more you practice, the more confident you will feel. The job interview. Make sure you get plenty of sleep the night before your interview. Set your alarm to give you plenty of time to get ready. Punctuality is very important in the United States. If you are late for the interview, the supervisor may think that you might also be late for work. If you have an interview in person, consider arriving at least 15 minutes early. If you have an interview through the phone or online, make sure to test your connection before your interview. You should also make sure your devices are charged. While you wait for your interviewer to meet you, you might start to feel nervous. Practicing breathing exercises can help you feel calm. To start, take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose while counting to 3 in your head, and then breathe out through your mouth while counting to 5. Add some affirmations with your breathing, such as, I will do well, or I can get this job. When you meet your interviewer, greet them with a smile. If the interview is in person, make eye contact and give a firm handshake with your greeting. There may be more than one interviewer, so make sure to greet everyone. When the interview begins, remember to stay calm. If you begin to get nervous, take a deep breath. If you ask a question that you weren't prepared for, you can pause before answering and say, let me think about this. Finally, don't forget to ask your questions at the end of the interview. During the interview, the interviewers may have already answered some of your questions, but you may have also had new questions. Make sure to ask your questions at the end of your interview. It shows that you are paying attention and are interested. After the job interview. Once the interview is over, you can thank the interviewer. The interviewer will usually provide a timeline of what happens next and when you might hear from them. If they do not, ask them before you leave the meeting or call. Once you get home or log off, consider sending an email thanking the interviewer for their time and expressing your interest in the job. Make sure your emails are professional and free of spelling and grammar mistakes. After your interview, take time to manage stress. Take a walk, visit a friend, or take a nap. If you do not hear back from the company within the timeline provided, you can reach out to ask about updates. It may take a couple of weeks before you hear back, so don't worry. Thank you. I'd like to thank you for joining us for the Settle in Live event. We covered a lot of information. You can return to this recording after the event to review this information again. We also encourage you to follow the Settle In Facebook page for the latest information you need to know as you adjust to your new life in the United States.